A Kenny elevator. Woo!
Everything gonna have an elevator. Oh, hey, I got plans for one.
Welcome back, everyone. This is your sixth cover. Appreciate you showing up. Let's have some fun tonight. We got Kenny Eagle Eye Shooting. We got X-Ring. We got Matt P. We got Sam in the house. So let's have some fun. Let me switch the cameras around so we can have this camera here. Have some fun.
Let me give a shout out to Dr. Sullivan. He knows who he is.
I would assume he does. You got to get in the screen, though, amigo. Come here. There you go. There we go.
Turn your camera. Are you using that crappy Logitech again?
Yes, I am. We can read up here now, though.
All right, so before we get started, Kenny, very quickly, how important is it to check your headspace on an AR or a Steyr with interchangeable barrels or anything like that? What would you say?
I'd say every time you get a brand new rifle and you don't know the condition of it, whatever ammunition you want to throw in there, it is absolutely crucial to check your headspace.
Yeah, and I know, this might have been a topic quite a while ago, but, a lot of guys will build ARs and put a new barrel in or a bolt and, it's mil spec, it's mil spec, it's mil spec. Guys, I cannot tell you how many times I've RO'd someone where their rifle literally did exactly what Rick just did, and that is explode on them. And we're talking about ruin the barrel, ruin the upper receiver, lower receiver, and hopefully not damage themselves in the process. I've been very fortunate, and it's typically someone that has a new build that did not check their headspace. You might get away with it 100 times, but all it takes is that one time. So case in point, I have someone that contacted me today, and they have a Steyr AUG. And the Steyr AUG has a very, very quick release barrel on it. And, some people will opt to go with longer barrels or something. And the problem with that is even in the manual, they stated you do not want to just swap one barrel to another. You need to check the headspace to make sure it's mated to that because it will lead to a catastrophic failure. So that leads me to the next example. And Kenny, are you at home in your reloading room?
He's in his new man cave.
I'm on my heat shed.
Okay. Do you have a go-no-go gauge close by? Because I don't. I'm over at Rick's.
Yeah, I do.
Absolutely. So there's a couple different gauges that you can get. They're relatively inexpensive, but if you're, building a lot of ARs, you want to definitely have a go-no-go gauge or possibly a field gauge. And what it looks like is a bullet. And Kenny's showing you that right there. I'll let him kind of explain that. But basically what you're doing is you're checking your headspace.
That's a green one, right?
This is a go gauge, yes, specifically from Manson Remix. So
yeah, so there's a notch on the bottom of that one, correct?
Yes.
Now, guys, a lot of people don't know what the notch is for, but to properly, or the way I was taught to properly check, is you want to remove your ejector from your bolt. Now, if you have one like that, sometimes that will go around the ejector in question, and you don't have to remove the ejector because typically you're going to have to drift that out. And what you're trying to do, like on an AR-15 or an M16 style, you're going to have a rotation of your locking levels. I think it's like 22.5 degrees. With a go gauge, they should lock pretty freely. You might have just a little bit of resistance, and that's okay. It should just go without any type of forcing.
Resistance.
A no-go gauge should not enable you to lock. Is that a correct synopsis there, Kenny?
Yep, that's correct. With, like you're saying, with the ejector out, if you have a bolt action, that bolt handle should not fall down at all. You could force it down on some of the headspace barrel that it's still there, okay, headspace, but that you should still feel a lot of resistance.
It's over the camera. Let me switch cameras real quick.
I don't know. It could be me that I echoing.
Yeah, your audio seems weird. I guess we should ask first. Whose audio is messed up? Rick, what's up with the audio? Is it when I'm talking or is it when Kenny's talking?
It could be me. I lowered my audio real quick. Hold on a second. Let me fix it.
Let me say hi while you're figuring it out and people are answering, and then let me get up to the top.
And I'm done talking.
Buy some 50. What's going on? How you doing? Vanessa Kitty, Steve Heedley, Papa's Place. Yeah, that picture is pretty awesome. And there went Kenny. And I appreciate that. Let's see. Carcane's out there. Let's start a poll to see how late Rick is going to be tonight. Time to rock. We were pretty much right on the money, I think. And we got TB out there. How you doing, sir? Skull 45 Auto, Chigaki, Commando 97. Commando 97, I got your email. I saw that. Appreciate it. And let's see, yeah. Abigail's out there. James Smith. Smoky Mountain Boys, better known as Casey. And we got 45 is still out there. Dryan. I think I always say that wrong. I apologize if I'm saying it wrong. And Lynn Holt. Thank you, Ray, for the education, as I appreciate you. From Dr. Sullivan.
Dr. Sullivan.
Is that who we met last night?
No, that was someone else.
Okay. Do you see my email on the hat? Commando 97, I did not. We got Kreiderman out there. What's going on? All right, let's have some fun. Oh, I missed hitting steel. Can't forget Junior. So, did anybody say who it was, speaker-wise?
It was probably me. I have to change the settings on my device to make sure it's like on default instead of trying to pick its own automatic thing.
You got to turn it down. Oh, yeah, that's way better.
Yeah.
We look like we're in an interview now with CNN.
Yeah. We're a little bit better now.
Where are you on 9.8? Yeah, so the reason for this, it says I hate this dick. The reason for this video, let me try to get this straight, it's driving me nuts, is the name of the title is Then It Happened. So I got a phone call today from this guy, and he says, hey, I found you a Voodoo, and you want it? And I said, yes. So I didn't have to wait 15 weeks.
What he didn't know is I already committed to it, because if he wasn't taking it, I was taking it.
That's right. So I got super lucky. Shibalseki's out there. So super excited. Got a Voodoo coming tomorrow, matter of fact. And Ray has a picture of it. So I had told him, we all went out to eat. We had Pops. We had all I can want to do is just keep calling you Dick for some reason. But Ray's daughter was out there, Ray, Matt, myself, and we went and had some good Mexican food. But I said, hey, send me some pictures of the new rifle that I get. And he sent me.
I'm not going to do that.
He sent me pictures.
I just did something very juvenile, and
it was fun.
And I put little caricatures all over it, like a cowboy riding the rifle and everything. He's like, no, really, and I knew because he wanted them for the chat tonight, and so
he never sent me any.
So I never sent him any because I know he wanted to do it. So this was one where I actually drew on the back of the stock and made a tripod out of. I mean, literally, it was SketchUp
and a scope.
The stock looks nothing like that. There's no mag in it. So anyway, he was upset because I would never send him the actual picture, but. What he got was a Voodoo V22 with the Curry barrel, 18-inch, 30-minute of angle rail with a Masterpiece Arms chassis and a Trigger Tech Diamonds trigger. And it's brand new.
It has 200 rounds through it. So
we pick it up in the morning.
So when the sponsored shooter that I got it from.
No, we're not allowed to talk about anything.
Well. So we got that going for us.
Blew that.
Yeah.
There it is right there.
But the new version came out.
Well,
snazzy, John Jeffrey says. Thanks for showing up, John. Let's see. Yeah, so I'm excited.
Oh, look at what 45 Auto said.
Nice of Ray to look out for you. Yeah, he does. He's a good buddy for sure. I tried to commented that there was wrinkles in here before, so actually if you turn the lights off, it works pretty damn good. I put it in the dryer to get rid of it, and the wrinkles, but now the wrinkles are harder to see, so that's pretty cool. Surcharge, Tim Davis, come on. Shh. I called dibs since Rick messed up that Voodoo. Skull says, yeah, I'm super excited because I'd be waiting 14 or 15 weeks The other day I had emailed him. So what's going on, Kenny? What are you building? What do you got going on? What's up, Matthew?
Well, I'm just cleaning up, like at the end of the day, I wind down and I make sure all the chips and stuff are cleaned up. But I got a 6x47 Lapua that's being built right now. So that's on a left-hand shooter. So it'd be a left-hand bolt. It's a Bighorn Teal 3 action.
Are you building that for Gunfather? I know he's
No. This is somebody that hit me up on the website. Obviously, I think he's a fan of your videos and Ray's. And obviously, big shout out to you guys and huge thanks. He found basically what I do or put my shop through your guys' videos. So
nice.
We sat down, talked together, and ended up deciding the 6x47 Lapua is a great cartridge for his needs. So that's what I'm building.
That is cool, man. That is cool. I'm going to try to turn I think if I turn this up and turn my computer down.
It could be me. Like I said, I tried. Yeah.
I don't know if the volume works like that. Talk real quick. No.
Makev says, still looking for a Voodoo, but we'll have a custom Bergara next week. Nice, Makev.
What about now? Is it me?
Makev was shooting. No, that was Makev wasn't shooting Bergara. That was going to be Bill.
That was Bill Sweeney.
Yeah, Bill had a Bergara.
Yeah, that was a nice Bergara too, actually. Still looking for a Voodoo.
What's up, Smoky Mountain boys?
Yeah. He says, what are you doing? What do you think he's doing, Casey? Hanging out at the house, having a little bit of fun.
Did you answer any other questions with regards to this?
Can you disclose how much you paid for that? Yeah, it was, yeah, you can say.
Well, yeah, it was less than 3, but more than 2.
There you go. It was a fairly good.
Somewhere in the middle.
It was a fairly good deal. That is for sure. The biggest thing was time frame. I'm trying to talk him in to the one in South Carolina. We can get him off his booty and decide to commit.
I'll commit.
That was too easy.
Sooner or later.
I'll commit sooner or later.
Sooner or later.
Sooner or later.
So Kenny got the lathe all set up, got it moved.
Yeah. So I finally, basically, the guy that mentored me, we had the same lathe. I've been using this. It was a fiasco moving this lathe literally 300 yards. I moved it from my neighbor's garage into my shop now, and that was a fiasco.
I bet.
I'm up and running. I no longer have to run up down the south side of town to go borrow a lathe to go do work.
It's hard to hear you, buddy. Still
Okay.
cozy. Your mom's out there. What's up, your mom? Jerry Bear Tactical 45 Auto. What's up, Jerry Bear?
Could be. I might have to put a headset on.
There you go. That might fix it.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So
You wonder what I'm drinking tonight? Hello, sweet tea.
Sweet tea.
What's that concoction you got right there, Eagle Eye?
Which one? This right here?
Lathe. Looks like
Oh,
No, I see the lathe over here. What's this part? That's the other machine part of it.
Oh. This part here?
a handle to a shovel or something.
Oh, this?
Yeah, that red handle thing.
See, you
Good old mop and broom.
it's a broom, but
I would know what one of those are.
Shimelseki, Proof has not gotten back with me. I have shipped the rifle. They did send a prepaid label, but it has already been there, but no call back or anything. So interested in seeing how that turns out.
Good question. There's Bill Sweeney right there. Cheers, Bill Sweeney.
What's up, Bill? We were just speaking about
We were talking about your Bergara.
So Commando 97, that website will be going live very shortly. What I'm going to do is we did compile a list of everyone that emailed me. I think I responded to every single email, which was a lot of emails. So I really appreciate it, guys. But what we're going to do is I will email you when it is time to go to a certain site, and you can go ahead and pay for it then when it's ready to ship. And like I said, a lot of the things that I put on there right now, when I do make it go live, I mean, we were going to go live with it today, and we said no, let's not, because we're still uploading pictures. So it'll be very soon, and it will be xringcustoms.com.
I seen some actual pictures of it. It looks pretty cool.
Can I talk about weapon lubrication in brief? We'll have to be a little more specific. I will tell you that, you know, I don't want to get into an oil topic, whether you're using Lucas or Weapon Shield or Mobile One off the dipstick in your car. You know, you definitely want to have lubrication on your rifles. The biggest issue I see, and Kenny is
I've had to do that.
Kenny works on a lot of rifles, so you have a lot of experience there as well. If I say anything that contradicts them, then you just chime right in. But what I found is there's two conditions. Number one, most people do not put enough oil on like their ARs. That's what I see is usually dry ARs just need a little bit of lubrication. You know, I see quite a few people over lubricate them if there is such a thing. But you don't want to, I mean, you don't want the thing dripping wet, because now what you're going to do is you're going to collect more carbon, more sand, more dust, but you do want generous lubrication on there. As far as bolt guns, I subscribe to two different theories. I either use grease on a bolt gun, but that's not in the desert. I use a lot of grease here. We're going to get more people in here. I don't know what the audio is going to be like.
It'll be fine.
Too far, isn't it?
Well, we got this to read. We're good.
Okay. I use a lot of grease, especially on the backside of the locking lugs and where the bolt cams over on the actual bolt itself. And otherwise, I mean, if you're in an environment where it might be really, really dusty, it's better to run it dry on a bolt gun than it is to run with too much lubrication. Kenny?
Bill Sweeney, yes.
Yep. So out here, I run very minimal oil just because of that reason, like you're saying. I use a product called Freedom Lube is what I've been using lately. And the other part of it is I'm using graphite.
Blurry.
The audio okay?
No, they're talking about the blurriness.
Okay, yeah. So
focus.
Teflon or just graphite, it's kind of what I've been using lately out here in the desert. So it's a little bit different. But as far as an AR, absolutely. A lot of folks put oil on places that shouldn't be there.
Like pistons, do not put on, like if you have a not and I don't mean to cut you off, but I see a lot of people oil, like if they have a piston style AR, okay? Mm-hmm. I don't mean like a direct impingement. When we're talking about something, let's say like a SCAR or, you know, SCAR 16, or you have something like an LWRC, they're throwing solvent all over the piston, an actual internal piston, and you don't want to do that, guys. That area needs to stay dry. Now, on a direct impingement AR, I will put oil on the gas ring area, not on the entire bolt, and you can apply that through the exhaust ports on the bolt itself, the two open holes. On most
right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But if you live in a desert area like I do, the biggest thing you're going to rely on is DLC coating. And then my honest recommendation is something called black ice coating. Black ice coating is a Teflon coated impregnated that goes into the metal. And it's a company that does it for not actually, the price is around $200 for an action. It's well worth doing.
No, somebody come on, it's blurry.
Well, the camera's working fine. I can see it up there on the screen. It looks good. Casey's talking about. It sounds like there's another device and the delay is drowning.
Yeah, let me get my iPhone just in case.
Yeah, just plug in a headset and see if that works first. The audio.
Okay.
Damn it, Eagle Eye.
You gotta get over here and get in here.
I'm sorry, I don't go in live chats much. Hold on, I'll fix
it. You slacker. Yeah, no oil in the pistons. Odamas says. Let's see, we got Drew Bradley's out there.
You know, a lot of it depends on your weapon systems. Now, I don't want to get off track on certain weapons and things, but like on like an FM, like a P90 machine gun, you're going to have very little oil or lubrication in that gun. What I've seen is a lot of your bullpup styles, whether it's like an FN FS 2000 or if it is something that runs on rails internally, you don't need a ton of, or like the Steyr, you do not need a ton of lubrication in those, just a light coating of oil.
Gang's all here, Davey J says.
Eagle Eye is much clearer than you guys.
I just don't understand that shit. Clear volume wise? All right, let me just shit can this camera then, see if we get better. Problem is that the screen's going to be so tight. It's going to be tough. What the hell?
You need to unplug that camera.
No, I shouldn't have to. What the hell's going on? Well, we're having technical difficulties. For some reason, it's not turning on. Oh, maybe there it is, right there. See how small it is? Oh, this camera is not better. It is not better.
Oh, we were using the other laptop the other night.
Yeah, we had the good laptop.
Yeah, we had the good one.
See how close it is?
All right. So
pull
is
it
that
back.
better or worse?
Tell me if it's better or worse.
Now you're going way too far.
Oh, that's all right. They usually go way too far. They can hear us. I'm sure they can hear us. There's nothing going on but us right now. Let's see what the comments say. We'll get this shit figured out sooner or later. We got a big old screen now. We can read the comments, so that's good.
It was F. Danielle's picture ain't that bad.
That's what I'm going to set up as a big old screen TV and then have one of those like boom cameras and a mic and all that.
Where's your headset?
So, I don't have one. Hey, send me another links. I'll use the iPhone.
Oh, geez. You really want me to blow this chat up, don't you? Let's see here.
Sid is better blacked out. Got a better camera.
What am I doing?
Oh my goodness. Bear with us for just a moment, guys.
Hold on just 1 second. Eagle Eye. Okay.
Yeah, it's saying you're no longer available. That StreamYard link.
So
There it is.
Yeah, just say a new link. All right, so we got Chad is going to have to start over. LOL. Go back to the first camera and move light. So yeah, I told you that camera's better.
Yeah, but your other laptop was better than that camera. Well, we're not on that camera.
We're not on that camera. Think of it as a podcast where you just listen.
Yeah, it's just overexposed, but really, I mean, not bad.
Your screen looks good. So I got too much light now.
I can adjust that.
But I don't understand. Okay, I'm going to switch back to the other camera. Just turn into a monkey cluster. I don't know. Hold on.
It looked to me, but
Let's see. This is the other camera that has to focus. Matt, you should actually think about jumping in the middle here, buddy. There we go. As long as it's good. Focus.
You must focus, Daniel.
All right. Let's try that as I keep going forward and backwards, but I got to get Eagle Eye back in here. And bam. All right, Eagle Eye. Let's see if that camera works better. Shibal Seki says, he says much better.
I said, out of here.
Ramsey Country's out there. What the hell? How's everybody doing? We're doing good, Ramsey Country. I got me a V22 coming tomorrow, which is quite a lucky day for me. Nothing like cereal for dinner. Talking rocks out there causing trouble. Ruckus. Golden grain if you can get it. Let's see. Drop ISO down some. It should be fine on internet speed and stuff.
You guys look cold. No,
It's hot.
It is hot in here. I'm just sitting back in this chair, so I've got my arms crossed. But no, it's nice and warm.
It's too warm in here. Yeah, DW, there is no freezing going on in here, let me tell you. Yahtzee! Don't have no gas heat yet. Yeah, we're rocking and rolling. We got the mini split. It's warm in here. We got Sam over there. He's protecting us.
He's sweating already.
He's already sweating.
Yeah, he's over there sweating, got a towel on.
His hat's all red from the heat.
No, DW, we did not order any pizza.
We had Mexican food.
Mexican tonight.
Yeah, we did. It was good too.
So we lost Kenny.
Yeah, I'm waiting for him to jump back in so I can click on.
Any experience with DNZ scope mounts? No.
I got nothing.
Is that the Dead Nut Zero or something like that?
I don't know, but it sounds like it would be.
Yeah.
Heard of it.
I never used that.
The jackets. We don't got it.
I don't have a jacket on. This is actually a flannel, so
Yeah.
he's got a t-shirt on. He's the only one with a jacket.
I got a jacket on. I'm a fat.
All right, so what else can we talk about? Something that's a good topic.
Good topic. Lots of them. Let's let Matt come on.
Matt, come on up. Come up.
Hey, get your ass up here.
What kind of topic?
First topic should be sliding your ass up so you don't look like the little. Hey, left ball.
I'm comfy in my chair here.
You never heard that joke before? Hey, left ball.
No.
No, you're supposed to say, what right ball? And I would say, who's the dick in the middle?
Are the PMAG 10 better than the steel AICS mags
Come on, man.
outside of the issues I'm having with the sheet metal one speed lips? So Drew Bradley, that is a very interesting question because we have tried them on different rifles, everything from PMags 5s, 10s, the metal mags,
MBT.
the MDT mags,
The metal lips.
and there was, thought there was another one we tried.
Accurate mag.
Yeah, the accurate mag, and believe it or not, in certain rifles, those PMags actually work better than anything else we tried, right?
I think the PMags were, they were the only mag.
That actually
Yeah,
works
so-
the best in his rifle, Brandon's rifle.
Yeah, so it really depends on the rifle. Now, I know that on my Accuracy International, I can't run an AICS mag. The one that I have actually runs a double stack and doesn't go to a single. It's the AW magazine, so there isn't a Magpul alternative to that.
It should be more gooder.
But Kenny just joined in, and he can tell you a lot about those. DW asked a question a minute ago. Let's see if I can highlight it, possibly.
Yeah, click on it.
And here it is.
Bam.
PMag 10 LR SR better than the steel AICS mags. That's the issue I'm having. The sheet metal ones feed lips. That's hit and miss. It all depends on what chassis you're running. And you know, Ray hit this up on the last or a few chats ago. When you build a rifle, you're essentially piecing everything together. Not everything seems to run smooth because manufacturers really make the stocks and rifles to accommodate all of the various magazines out there. So I have better luck. This is from my experience. I'm having better luck with the MDT and the PMags out of my rifles that I build. So that's just my experience. But there's a lot of folks out there that really swear by the accurate mags. And all you have to do with the accurate mags is sometimes you get to tune the feed lips just a little bit.
Yeah, and believe it or not, Masterpiece Arms makes a little tuner. If you don't have one and you just want something that goes in your keychain, it's basically, it's a simple piece of billet aluminum with a slit cut in it. And so you can really just kind of tune them out without taking a set of pliers and galling up your feed lips. And I think it's about $15.
Yeah, and you're like, man, I could have made this for $3.
Yeah.
But it's well worth it.
Yeah, I mean, if you've got a
Through
machine shop, yeah, it's easy to make, but you know, they go through the trouble of anodizing it and everything else. So it's something that you can be a little proud of if you want it, but it's nice.
Yeah. And one of the factors of the PMags is that it's a 10-round capacity. Now, there are manufacturers out there. I just seen a post today from Match Grade Machine, or not Match Grade, it's MKM made a magazine extension, a 2-round magazine extension for the PMags.
Nice. Yeah, so that's one of the things you're going to find out, whether you're doing precision rimfire or PRS style shooting. There are going to be some stages where you have 12 or 15 rounds. And in that case, I mean, almost everything's a 10-round magazine. And unless you buy an extension, I had to buy extensions when we shot the precision rimfire match, when Matt was sparring the CZ, I had ordered some 3D printed extensions, some +3s. That way he would be able to run at least 12 on a stage without having to do a reload.
When did they show up?
They showed up Saturday afternoon.
They showed up the day late and $1 short.
Yeah.
We got a Born to Be a Shooter out there. What's up, Josh? We got Lance Hawley. How you doing?
All right. So, X-Ring, do you know anyone who has had experience with the Armalite AR-10 Magnum, which is an upper that fits on a factory Armalite pattern roll receiver, and you can shoot such things as a 6.5 to 300 thumb. I have not had experience with it. I've heard about them. Maybe Kenny can chime in on this, or if he's messed around with them.
Does that mean you got a single feed him? Or he's running 6.5 and 300 salt. Does 300 salt?
Oh, he's locked up. Jeez. Lance Holly, powders and primers are scarce throughout the whole country. What is up, Andrew? It's not just in Alabama. Anywhere in the South, it's going to be really, really tough. I know that a local gun shop here just got a ton of ammunition in, and he's selling it for $1 a round. And he said today was the biggest day he's ever had. Ever.
That's because he had ammo.
He had ammo and said he sold it by the truckload pretty much. And guys were trying to get him to ship it and everything else. And he said he wanted to.
He wanted to keep it here. He wanted
to cater to the locals.
Which is actually
and not
awesome.
ship it, but he didn't put a limit on it. So, I think he said be considerate of others.
You run extra rounds on rifle. Sometimes.
So yes, I do run a 2-round holder. Rick actually has one as well that was made by Kenny for him, and you can get these +2s by like Haptic. Short Action Precision makes them. You have one as well, right?
Short Action.
I run the Short Action.
Yeah, and so that way, if you just need one, you can throw it in there, or you could do 2 in single feed. But if it's a 15-round stage, that's not going to cut it.
No. There's definitely a mag change in there, especially if you got like a weird positional thing where you can't run a longer mag.
Yeah, cater at $1 a round. $1 a round for 223 or 556 is what it was. And yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people that just found themselves caught in the middle because they either waited or didn't have any ammunition, and they're just having to pay what the market's bringing right now.
Sam got a place to sit. Yeah. All right.
Same here, $50 a box, and people are buying it left and right. Guys, it's all over the country, and what I've been hearing is it's not going to get any better at all, not anytime soon.
No, and the primers that people do have, they had, prior to, they basically prepped up on some primers and powder, and
I still can't find them.
Found stuff. Yeah, if you're trying to find stuff now, it's very difficult or very expensive.
Yes,
or both.
$1 a round for 55 grainer. We're talking like American Eagle, PMC, and he is getting it. Every single bit of it. He's just moving it like crazy. He'll probably be out of inventory tomorrow. And I know he had a huge shipment.
Yeah, I was like, damn.
He did.
It's basically impossible to get ammo. It is basically impossible. How do you like the new trigger on your RPR 22 long rifle? Larry, it is awesome. For sure. Thinking about trying it. It's a great trigger. It's definitely nice and light. And I haven't had a chance to shoot much of it, probably maybe 100, 150 rounds, but it is definitely noticeable just from the get-go. Kenny, I'm glad you're back. I'm glad you made it back in there.
What's up, Kenny?
I got my kids.
Maybe that'll
they reset the router.
Messing with your. Actually, you sound pretty good right now.
Okay. Yeah, I'm in a laptop now, so I just totally switched over.
Oh, you're golden now.
I got the technology.
I've got the technology. That's right. 40 rounds of horny. $34 a box of 20. Limited 2 boxes. See, and that's the thing. It's like, even though you're getting bamboozled and hornswoggled or whatever it's called, the people that don't have any ammo, they're paying for it because at least they got something, right?
Yeah.
Ray was saying how the matches, he thinks the matches are going to slow down a lot. And I really, unfortunately, have to agree with them. But
I think 3-gun will die.
I think it's going to be like, between shotgun and pistol and rifle, it's going to be it's going to be a lot of rounds when you get done with the match. So,
Yep.
no, I'm talking about $1 round now.
Yeah. the huge peak of interest for new reloaders out there. I mean, it's just taken off left and right. Folks are hunting YouTube for any kind of information about how to reload.
Yeah.
Well, and I've been looking because I've been looking at getting a new press. I ended up finally finding one. But even the presses, when you go to like a lot of the big places, the big box stores looking for reloading stuff, they are empty. I mean, empty. So everybody's panic buying. Talking Rock says, yeah.
You know, I don't know if, I mean, yeah, people are panic buying, but I would think it's actually the people like us and everyone that's watching that have been into reloading. You realize that, hey, you can't just go and buy it, and you don't want to just keep pulling marbles out of that jar. You won't have marbles anymore. I mean, it doesn't matter how much you stockpile. When you shoot as much as we shoot, I mean, literally, I mean, it's a match every weekend or every other weekend.
Or training,
you have to have a huge stockpile. Otherwise, you're just not going to have anything at the end of the year. I know I'm not looking at doing any 3 guns this year. I think I'll see a big explosion, or we should see a big explosion in rimfire shooting. But I think people will still do that because so many people stockpile up on 22 long rifle, 2 years ago or whatever it was. I mean, you have somebody that watches your channel that has like 100-something thousand rounds. Or
big time. And that's not just in 22 long rifle.
Yeah, and
he has probably over 1 million rounds of 22.
Yeah, but
It's nuts.
These rifle matches that we're doing, you're not going to be competitive if you see standard velocity. You can be a great shooter, and you're not going to do well against the guy that's got his junk together and had ammunition that's let's say Ely or Aleppo or something like that was tuned to his rifle.
Yeah, Doug B found some powder out there straight from Hodgson last night. Got 2 8-pound jugs, so that's pretty awesome. Someone had asked the question a minute ago, and since my memory is pretty much gone, and I want to give a quick shout out to a gentleman right here, Mr. DW. I don't know if you got a chance yesterday, DW, to see my little video I did. It was basically on what you had sent me, how cool it was.
That is cool.
And a huge, Matt saw the video. The clock is amazing. And it's sitting over there. I don't even want to take us down. It's so cool. So thank you very, very much.
Touch it, so I didn't break it.
So I don't know if you got to see that, DW, or not, but that video was for you, buddy. Appreciate it. Let's see. Purchase vintage Olhas powder drop today.
Ooh, Drew, dude, an Olhas powder drop. You scored on that one. Those are well sought after. Vintage.
$5?
Yeah.
Damn.
Dude, now, Drew, I'm serious, man. There's a lot of old timers that if you say you have an Olhas powder drop, they're gonna say, "Yep, you got the golden ticket there."
And currently, your focus point is about 3 to 4 yards short. And that is the clearest. Well, I don't know. It is what it is.
Yep.
I do mark one mags. I got one that's a rainbow unicorn vomit one, and then I got one. I usually put pasties for target pasties on it and put a number on it.
I number mine with a Sharpie.
Yeah. Watching from a rooftop in Korea. A Korean rooftop. Rooftop. What's up, buddy? Do you guys want mags? We answered that one. Yeah, I seen that. Just wanted to help them up your place. I appreciate that, DW, very much, sir. Thank you. Yeah, it's been fun. Once I get it all dialed in around here, I'm gonna put it in a special spot. Right now I got it hanging up on the drywall over there. See, Bob Maiden. Every time something goes over this, you can't read it. Ramsey Country, when's your next match? When's your next match? I know you're shooting full. I need to start marking the metal mags or DNH. I use Belden and wall powder.
Yep. If you want a really good powder drop, if folks are discussing right now on the chat, I'd say one of the best ones out there is made by Harrell's Precision. It's harrellspec.com. That is one of the best powder drops they make out there in the market.
Is it the most consistent and most accurate, or what do we got?
It has, for extruded powder, the design of it, I don't really know the mechanics of how it works, but it doesn't cut powder as much. A lot of bench rest shooters actually use Harrell Harold's powder drops. They're very consistent. It's still a volume style powder drop, but people honestly just set it and they don't even weigh their charges. When some of these bench press matches out here, that's all they bring.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Plus fives out there. What's going on? I don't know.
What up, plus five?
I'm super happy with my FX. That thing works really well. I like it.
I've been putting his tripod through his paces. My son's gonna do a local match with me, and he's gonna use that tripod.
Nice.
Up with that thing.
Maybe you can get some video footage for plus five and you put it on.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I've been trying to do. I got a lot of hunting video footage on that. Took out a few coyotes with that tripod.
I'm glad when I used that stage, I cleaned that stage because that would have sucked if I'd have like got it stuck in the cage or something. Yeah,
That's a good run.
Yeah, it was.
that's a good run. Thank goodness. Let's see, all the ranges around here closed for deer season. Damn it. Let's see, Spy Sweepers out there. What's going on? Eagle Eye in the house. This is like YouTube shooting celeb channel now. Got a lot of friends out there. Eagle Eye.
Yep. It's all because of you guys. You guys are the show.
What are you? I don't know what are you talking about. We're just here having fun. You got some good knowledge and can definitely help pass that along.
Dude, after shooting Matt's rifle, I'm convinced my next rifle I'm building is definitely the 223 AI. Freaking thing's a tack driver.
I heard Ray had said there was a .3 or something like that.
Hey, which one?
On that Matt's rifle. What was the best group you got out of it?
Oh, dude, that thing was in the ones. I shit you not, it was in the ones. I'm shooting these.
Oh
my yeah, dude, it's freaking insane. So just the regular 88 grain ELDs. Like that rifle put out some bench rest numbers. It was like 1.6, 1.2.
Oh wow.
Or 0.12. I don't know. I'm saying 1. 0.12, 0.16.
No pressure.
And
no pressure.
yeah, so I'm gonna give you all that data there, Matt. And I'm just using regular Lake City brass CCI 450 primers, Varget powder. It's putting out with these 88 grains. It's close to 2,900 feet a second. It outperforms the Valkyrie like no other.
Dang,
That ain't too hard.
Yeah, the Valkyrie's kind of a. You guys got sold out in that one. Whoever.
I never got one. I was like,
Yeah, that's what it looks like right there.
We tried a few of them. That's a good looking round.
Yeah, it's a good looking round, man. It's cheap to reload. And I kid you not, it's a freaking laser all the way out to 800 yards. You're not really doing so much holdovers at all. Very good practice round for folks looking for PRS without having to burn out your barrel. I mean, honestly, the 223 AI is the way to go. Between this and the 6 ARC, I've been using both those rifles for practice.
Now, the 6 ARC's been performing well in a bolt gun still, right?
Yes, yeah. A lot of folks are like, why do you choose that cartridge? Well, simply because I'm not putting 41 in it and 0.3 grains of 4350 on a cartridge that's going to burn out your barrel in about 1,200 rounds. I'm able to actually practice and get still the fundamentals of positional shooting with the 6 ARC and get out to the ranges of 1,200 yards still. You know, obviously you got more wind drift to play with, but it just makes you a better shooter anyway.
Yeah.
So,
well, reading wind is the part that kills most people.
Yeah.
Fun reading them with it.
And that cartridge is by far it's a thumper for coyote hunting. You put in a 58 grain VMAX, it will shoot it at 3,400 feet a second. That means it is a laser. You don't have to do any holdovers out to 600 yards. You could literally drop coyotes at 600 yards just by aiming at it with the 100-yard zero.
Are you able to read the comments?
Yeah, I have it up right here.
Okay, Ramsey Country was asking you what you're getting. He's getting 29.15 with 90s SMK.
Yeah, see, I'm a little bit more conservative with the Varget powder. I'm basically just trying to match the holdovers. That's why. Yeah, you could do that. I think the SMK is the way to go too. I just haven't tried it out yet.
Why don't you talk a little bit about matching the holdovers so you can
okay.
Learn.
Well, the ballistic drop and the reticle, if you're a mil radian or MRAD shooter, you basically want your holdovers per 100 yards So basically every 200 yards, you want your holdovers to kind of match every 1 mil if you can, or half a mil. So I try to aim my ballistics or do my load development if you're doing PRS or hunting, just to be like, it's easier to know, okay, at 600 yards, I'm going to be 2.2 mils or 2.1. I can just dial up 2 and still be able to hit my target. So that when I do my load development, specifically for hunting or PRS, that's what I'm aiming for, that velocity to get the ballistics trued up to that reticle.
So what's more important to you, getting that, or so that's one other step. So basically trying to find a node, right? And then find a tight group, and then now you got to match it to your reticle. Like, that's just freaking nuts.
It's another ticket. Honestly, if you're looking at just plinking steel, you don't really have to emphasize on a really tight group at 100 yards. To be honest, a 100-yard group doesn't really tell you much unless you take it out to 500 yards, because you could have a really tight group, but then or your SDs or ES numbers and all that could actually open up your groups at 500 yards. When you had a node or you had a load charge that was putting out maybe a 0.6 inch or 0.7 inch group, but it holds that MOA all the way out to 1,000 yards. So when you do load development, my recommendation is, find something that works. Don't stress about the small details. If you're just plinking steel, if you get a 1/2 inch group or around that, go straight to your applied distance where you plan on shooting and see if it holds that group. If it holds that group, just stop right there. There's no need to go any further for tinkering.
See, and that's what we noticed testing out the David Tubbs 115s. Was we got the groups at 100 weren't as good as, what bullet did we test it against, Ray? The 115,
the burger,
the burgers.
The D-Tax.
Yeah, the burgers printed better at 100, but I think it was at 300. The D-Tax actually printed a better group than the burger did in our testing. So same powder, same all that stuff, but and I'm like, well, we don't shoot anything at 100, when it comes to that for the most part. So I'd rather have a tighter group at 300 than I would at 100.
Yeah. If you talk to a lot of competition shooters, I've been doing that lately. They spend as less time on the reloading bench as possible and more time in the field practicing. So they did, honestly, like Ray says, he emphasizes all the time, if it shoots a 1/2 minute group, I'm going out there and competing with it. And that's honestly all you need. Something that holds that MOA at your distance that you plan on shooting.
No, it makes sense. Jer Chop Face says, thoughts on the Howa. I know you have some experience with the Howas.
Yeah, so I've been building Howa or 6 arcs out of the Howa minis. The actions are kind of like a Remington 700. The Howa 1500 kit, there's a lot of upgrades to it. You could true it up. There's folks out there that not only true up the action, but they actually put bushings in there that actually make that bolt wiggle a lot less. So it's actually a more tighter action. There's DLC coating that tightens it up as well. I honestly think the Howa 1500 is not a bad action at all. It just depends how you set it up and what chassis you put it in, and obviously your philosophy of use on that rifle.
Were those the ones we found on sale?
Yeah, so that one's just sitting there, man. I can't wait to build that thing. That 6mm bolt. It's a barreled action, and I got it for like $229.
Yeah, that something came up on my email.
Is that from Brownhouse?
Yeah, I jumped on it. I tried to get 2, and they denied me. They're like, nope, limit 1 per customer. I'm like, man.
Oh, that sucks ass.
Yeah, I did.
What was
it sold out quick.
I bet. That's cheap. Oh, the Terminus. The Zeus Terminus action with that whole threaded barrel deal with the 2 nuts.
Mm-hmm.
You got any experience with that?
I do not know.
Okay. Yeah, I was looking at it going, man, it sure would be nice to change the barrel out like the AI.
Yeah, I mean, there's switch lugs out there that you could get, which uses just an Allen wrench on top. It's honestly, it works. I know it does. I built one, but it's, what's the chances of you having to switch out a barrel during a match, really, Well,
I don't think it's a switching out a barrel at a match. I think it's more the the
DIY at home.
Turn out, and I can just call Kenny and order a new one.
Yeah.
Slam it.
Well, that's what I do different. That's what I try to do different. I was talking to Matt earlier about the variances and tolerances on supposedly blueprinted actions. When I chamber a rifle, I have every barrel spec per that customer. So the rifles that I build, all of it is written down and filed away electronically and paper. So if they ever need another barrel down the road, I just reference this, spin one up, and send it right to them in a little headspace.
Yeah.
So there's a difference between a trued action and what folks call blueprinting. Blueprinting is when you're actually blueprinting to exact dimensions, or you're taking the measurements down. That's blueprinting.
Well, that's like we were talking earlier before we went live about ordering another barrel.
Yeah.
It's cool, but because I can just say, "Hey, Kenny, spin me up another barrel." You know?
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly why, you know, what I'm trying to be different is give that ability to be like, hey man, there's a lot of manufacturers out there say I have, you know, we can make you a pre-fit. Well, they get away saying pre-fit because they're giving you a barrel nut. It's not a shouldered barrel. It's a barrel nut system where you still have the headspace to barrel, meaning you got to rent gauges or go buy them. You know, when you have an actual blueprinted action with exact dimensions, I could say, hey, here, you know, give me a week's time. Here's a barrel, ship it out to you. And in the notes, I put on, hey, torque it down to 44 pounds, and you're going to headspace no matter what. Unless you damage your bolt, that's the only way that thing's not going to headspace.
Yeah, that's good. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
460 Smith & Wesson with a 14-inch barrel. You're right at Hammers Gear. What up, Ranger 10? Red Raiders out there. Let's see. If you ever try a 3D scan, Kenny? Kenny does a lot of 3D print stuff.
Yeah, 3D scan. I haven't done the scan part of it, but it's not hard to find the models online. Someone's already done it already.
These guys are deep in thought over here. I like
we're
it.
compiling the pre-order on a spreadsheet.
Yeah, these guys, they got more orders than they thought they were going to get.
Yeah.
So good for them. Good for them. They make a great product, so we'll see. Uh-oh.
Look at that patch, Rick. See, he doesn't. Look at that patch.
Dang. That's screaming business now.
I wonder if I get a patch when I get my Voodoo. I have to order one.
I appreciate this.
Oh, that was the
Nice
nicest
gift
present
ever.
ever. Dang.
I love it.
I wish I would have sat in that chair. Let's see. I have a Bosch hammer drill. That's right. That's all you need, DW. Set yourself up, make your new barrel with a Bosch hammer drill. No problem. Craig from Area 419 emailed me tonight to let me know the sale ends tonight on the Arca rails and clamps and reloading.
They're good stuff.
Man, Area 419, I actually got one sitting over there. I need to put back on my Raphael.
Mm.
Good.
Do you recommend their pump pillows? I've been looking at their pump pillows for a while.
Area 419?
Yep.
Yeah, I tell you what, good bags are important for sure.
Noticing that.
Let's shoot a couple matches together. We got just so you guys know, one day, sometime next year, Eagle Eye's gonna come out and do a little shooting with us.
Going to have to, man. I got my sister-in-law over there, so I'll be in your neck of the woods pretty soon.
Yeah, that'd be cool. How has the bad MF selling? It's going crazy, Brian. These guys are staying up late at night trying to get this all figured out. So you're killing me, Smalls. What up, Mr. Thomas Rowland?
All right, so I'll
You
go
gotta
ahead,
twist
I'll
it
go
and
ahead and
say.
address it. Basically, on the Bad MF, we did a kind of a pre-order the other night, and anybody that was interested just basically needed to email me at the xstringchannel@gmail.com and tell me what color they wanted. That would get them on the list. We actually compiled the list based on when the email came in, and the initial run was going to be 60. But it was so well received, so big shout out to you guys. We had to go back to the manufacturer that's making these for us and bump that initial order to 100 units because these sold out very quickly. What we're going to do is I've answered every single email that came in, and we've compiled a spreadsheet, and as soon as they're ready to ship, we will give you the billing information on the website. You'll be able to pay for it, and we'll ship it out to you. So big shout out on that. And then we also have the belts coming as well. We just finished out pretty much the final prototype on it.
If that one fits me, I'm stealing it.
And
A little big for me, but it's the most comfortable.
okay, and I want to hear some feedback on this if it's okay with you guys. So this is what I would call an everyday belt. I'm not going to call it an everyday carry belt because it's basically, you know, the webbing with the Cobra buckle. But the problem that I've always found with these heavier belts, especially the EDC belts, is they are too rigid. And when you wear them throughout the day, it hurts the lower back. It'll hurt you in the kidneys. Matt said the exact same thing. It's always been one of my complaints. I mean, I want something that's got structure to it, but I don't need something that's that rigid, okay? So we came up with this belt. It's adjustable on both sides. Price point's going to be one of the lower ones out there. We are using, I mean, it's not going to be an $80 belt if that's what you're thinking. But what's nice about it is if you're wearing it, and let's say you needed to loosen your belt a little bit, it's really easy to do that on either side. And it's a 1-inch buckle. And what's nice about this is I'm not having to feed this like a typical belt. I can pull the belt off that quick.
Slow your ass
Oh,
down.
yeah. You like that, don't you?
Dang.
What we're trying to do is make it so that it's easy to put on, easy to take off without having to fight that dang Cobra buckle. These are
Damn it, boy.
these are 1-inch buckles. You can see it just like that. So, yeah, that'll be on there as well.
Yeah. Need something like that. Scare my boys if I need to once in a while.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah, you ain't listening to me, boy?
What? I'm gonna whoop up on your ass.
Oh, man.
Damn it, boy.
Damn it, boy.
Still your belt.
That's comfortable.
It's changed a little bit since the last version.
Oh, there's been about 6 different versions of those.
I'll have to look at it in the light and give you my final thoughts on it.
Final answer? Is that your final answer?
That is my final answer. Watch it, Rick. Yeah, no shit. I almost got my eye taken out. Let's see. Andrew, the A gun guy, says the Golden Corral adjusters. That's right.
That's great.
What would Ray's stage name be?
Flannel Daddy.
Flannel Daddy.
Flannel
No, that would be.
What up, Flannel Daddy?
Flannel Daddy. Welcome to the stage.
Never seen the real Flannel Daddy. Go ahead and hit the thumbs up button. Oh, they locked themselves out of the vault. See, once you close the door, you're done.
I did that earlier.
You ain't coming in.
I did not.
You got to knock. Those are Bojangle adjusters. I hate that stupid computer. It does that all the time. Let's see. We got, are you going to the belt size for the big and tall, but mostly big? Yeah, I think there'll be some options when it comes to the belt.
I think they said there will be some color options too. Don't quote me for sure. Possibility.
Did you
of
hear
color.
that? I haven't heard that yet, so that's good to know. Good to know. Red Raider says, what is it? The yeah, they're making some cool stuff though. Don't let them. Since they're gone now outside, I can say good stuff about them. Got the last 5 boxes of 6 ARC from a deal. From a drug dealer, Golden Ballistic says. Still shocked I found some actual my shooting buddy did. That's awesome. That's a good thing about friends. I mean, Ray helped me out finding that Voodoo, which I never would have found the contact for that. So I'm super excited about that. Of course, now I owe, but let's see. It does get down to 1 pound.
Yeah.
So the last, Kenny, it sounded like someone out there has one of your rifles they just got from you. Is that correct?
Yeah, there's a 6 ARC rifle out there. They're basically one of the upgrades that was needed to complete that rifle to make it shoot better was a chassis system. So he just got that chassis system, so I'm pretty excited to see what kind of groups he gets. I know when I was switching it over to the LSS chassis, it significantly dropped the group size. So I'm really curious to see what he gets out of that. And then the other question was these TC Compass rifles. On my latest video, I've been kind of showcasing that pretty affordable rifle and what you could do with it. So
yeah,
talking about the trigger system, and somebody out there needs to make a damn trigger for that rifle. That'd be awesome.
Mackie, you've had a question earlier. What scope am I going to be putting on the V22 Voodoo? Thanks, DW. I appreciate it. I'm going to be putting on that Vortex, the Razor HD. I actually had it sitting in the box, so I had ordered one additional one because I won a half off at a match. So I went and bought a shut up, dude. I went and bought Vortex, the Gen 2, the 4.5 to 27. But I went with the Horus, the H59 reticle.
Okay. Yeah.
And then I'm going to take the other one, which is the EBR2C reticle, and put that on the, which I really, I wish I had a couple more H59s.
You know, there really isn't that many videos out there of how you actually zero out that reticle, because it's a lot different than anything out there. I was actually struggling with it pretty.
The Vortex is
the Vortex. It is a pain in the ass. What's cool about it, though, is it has no clicks once you pull the caps off, and you can go in like nobody's business. Yeah. So when I was doing that cold bore, cold bore shot at 100 and doing the running bullshit, every time I could just tweak with it a hair more to get that first cold bore shot to be perfect in the inside of the 1-inch target.
Yeah. So to explain to the viewers out there that don't know anything what we're talking about, the Razor HD is Vortex top of the line scope. They have basically two elevation turrets, one to zero out your reticle, the other one to have your adjustment and zero stop. So you have to take off the scope cap, and inside it's a small little like turret wheel that there is no clicks at all. You have to physically spin it, and hopefully you get it there. I mean, it's a really big pain in the ass, in my opinion, for that reticle or for that scope.
Yeah, the Vortex Razor, just like Kenny stated, when that first came out, I actually got one of those, and that was my biggest complaint, was resetting the zero on it. We've kind of got it down to a science now, but as much of a pain as it is, what is nice about it, Kenny, though, is if you are, let's say, I'm just going to make up a number here. Let's say you're 1/8 of an inch to the right of your target. Because there is no detent, where when you go 1/10 of a mil left, it's now on the other side of the target. You can actually do it where it's dead on the money.
Right. Okay.
Like about it, but it does take long.
Yes. Okay. So yeah. So that is a huge plus, especially if you're MRAD. Yeah, I didn't think about that.
Yeah. No, I mean it's good and bad. You just got to take the good with the bad. So it's a good point. It's a good point.
Yeah.
I think it was Razor.
Razor JB said something. Let's see.
He had a good scope question. Now go back down.
Go back down. Sorry, I just got in on this.
Going ballistic.
Going ballistic. Rick, do I go for value and purchase the Vortex Razor 5 to 25, or go for the Night Force ATAC R 7 to 35?
I say value for the Razor.
I am not a big fan of the Razor HD 5 to 25. I like the 4.5 to 27 much better. Does anybody know if they've ever addressed the older Vortex Razor 5 to 25 had the shim spacers for your zero stop? Did they ever change that, or is it still the same way?
Yeah, I got the 4.5 by 27. So I don't know.
Yeah, the older 5 to 25s, and maybe they've changed it. If you wanted to set your zero stop, you had to insert shims into there, and it was just a pain. I don't like anything with shims like that. So in that case, I mean, we're going from value to skipping way up there on the range. I mean,
right.
That 4.5 to 27, I know you can find those all day long, secondhand, which doesn't matter. You're going to have a lifetime warranty. I mean, run over with your truck and send it in. I didn't say that, but you can get those from anywhere from $1,600 to $1,800 all day long online, all day long. All day long.
One of the scopes that I actually purchased recently, and I can't wait to try it out, is a Track Toric, the long range version.
Yeah,
that's got German shot glass. So I'm actually, and it's from what I've heard from a lot of folks, including some of my friends, they said that the turret feel of that scope is probably one of the best in the market. So.
Yeah, I've been asked a lot of questions about that scope. I've done some research. I've never been to one really typically to reach out to a company and ask for a product. That's just not what I do. Maybe for requests like this, I can do that. I know some people have been asking me about an R6 scope from KG Made, which is not available to the normal, normal public. But I know the owner of that company, so I might be able to get one of those and do a review on. I know it's not related, but this is just kind of tying it all in. But I did some reading, and I guess the guy left Nikon, started his own company, and uses German glass. And I think the price point is really good. I mean, it's like $1,300 or less for most of his optics.
Which one?
Right. Yeah.
The track torque scopes.
I haven't had a chance to use those yet.
Guys, there are a lot of great scopes out there now for that. Honestly, they used to be, you couldn't find what you're getting now at $3,000, and you're getting it a little over $1,000. I mean, you really are. Tracking's gotten better, and there's just so many options. I guess people found out it was big business. They knew what people wanted, and a lot of the companies are using the same tubes. Like out of Light Optics, I think there's one tube design that's shared by 30 different companies.
Wow.
It's the same tube, just different internals, different glass.
Yeah.
All right, where else are we going here?
I've used the app now. I've looked through a couple of them. They look nice. I've shot one, but it was only like 2 rounds. Seemed to be pretty good scope, so.
Yeah, so Arkin is another one. Now, Kenny can speak about Arkin Optics and tell us his opinion on them. I know they were a huge sponsor. They were the title sponsor for Snipers Unknown. So they had a lot of them out there for us to mess around with and play with, but I think Kenny is actually a dealer for them.
There's one problem with it, though, is their high-end scope that was really nice didn't have illuminated reticle at the time.
Right. So they came out with their SH scope, the new one, the 624 version 2, which kind of is, to me, in my opinion, a better reticle than the EP4 series. And that scope actually has a lot more features than the EP4. The biggest gripe that I could say that kind of bothers me on that is on the EP4 series, there is no yardage variation on the parallax. So it forces you to adjust your parallax correctly. However, the caveat to it is if you're in a hurry, you don't know where to reference off of. So, it's nice having at least at 100 yards or 1,000 yards, you can say, okay, go right here in between. I'm going to be right around where our parallax needs to be.
Now, that is a great point, Kenny. Great, because when we're trying to set up for a match, like whether it's a rimfire or whether it's a true long-range match, there are times they will not let you get a sight picture through your scope. They will not let you shoulder it and get a sight picture.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you know if your first target is, let's say, 625 yards, you can at least get it close. I mean, honestly, close enough to hit that target, even without adjusting it perfectly. And it's all about saving those precious seconds and getting on those targets. And if I didn't have a reference, which they're never dead nuts, everybody's eyes are different. Yeah. And if it says 400, it might be 500, who knows, but at least you're in the right ballpark. That would drive me crazy.
Yep. And then their lead times are extremely long right now. Obviously, they're getting them overseas. So my question, I tried exercising this, their warranty, just to see how they take it. They honor their warranty, except that when you're getting a replacement, the lead time still takes effect. So you're going to wait 8 to 10 weeks to have a replacement. So that's the downside. I mean, it's a great scope. It tracks. I mean, the glass quality is on par with a lot of high-end manufacturers, surprisingly. It's a great feeling scope. The biggest thing is the lead times, and they're working on it. They're obviously a new company, so we'll see what happens. But so far, I'm pretty happy with the product. I think, to me, if you're looking at a competition scope with an Arkin Optics, the SH4, the new Gen 2 is probably what you want to look at, in my opinion.
Price point?
They're roughly $399. I know they're going to up the price because they had a really high demand for that scope. So I had an email recently that they will be upping the price.
Yeah, well, if they keep it low enough where you can shoot production with it, that'd be a smart move too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I am done with production.
Yeah, he's done with production.
I'll shoot it. There it is right there. Actually, it's this
Night Force?
That's what's going on there. No, I like the Night Force, the Mill, which one is it? The LC?
Mill XT.
Mill XT.
Yeah, I want the 2/10. That's the one problem with this one. That's the reason why I went with the H59 is the 2/10 are huge. Seems like every time I sling that freaking Kestrel around and my dope comes up, it's never 0.5 this or straight up numbers. It's always like 3 or 7, and it's like, damn, now I gotta guess what it's at or dial.
Yes, Idaho. They do offer all their series line scopes and Arkin in MOA or MRAD.
Okay, so Spy Sweeper said he's just starting to learn. I find the primary arms are good budget scopes.
Yeah, great.
They are, but they also make higher end scopes that I've had a lot of experience with. I actually reviewed one. It is the Platinum series. So just think about silver, gold, and platinum. I know they can't call it gold any longer, but silver is going to be your budget line. Gold is going to be a pretty good line, and platinum is going to be up there. I mean, their platinum scopes are going to run you anywhere from $1,500 to $1,600, depending on if you're going with, let's say, 6 to whatever it is, 30, or if you're going with their 1 to 8. It's great glass. They track well. So primary arms is a good option, and their reticle choices are really great as well.
I'd say you're saving about $1,000 over the other competitors.
Now, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying. I mean, I've had a chance to shoot it in Utah. It's a match. It's a great scope. It really is.
Now, one thing I did want to point out. Now, in full disclosure, Burris sent me an XTR3. The XTR2, I was a little disappointed in the clarity of the glass up on the top end.
I was too.
They got it right on the XTR3. Matt had never looked through it, and I shot those last 2 precision rimfire matches. Now, remember, guys, we talk about rimfire. If you don't know what we're talking about, it's basically PRS with a rimfire, and you're shooting out to about 400 yards, okay? And so you're going to be dialing an ungodly amount of mils, more so than you ever would with your 6.5, okay? So, for example, with a 6.5 Creedmoor at 1,000 yards, you're going to be 7 to 8 mils, depending on environmentals, right, Kenny? Somewhere in there, 7.1 to 8. Whereas the 22 rimfire, you're going to be dialing at 200 yards, you're going to be somewhere in that zone. But we shoot at 300 and 400 yards, you're holding 30 mils. It's insane, and you're hitting small targets with that.
And that's with like a 30, 40 mil base.
Yeah, so you have to have a scope that tracks very well. So
Right.
Pat got a chance to look through the XTR3 the other day, and what was your impression of it?
I was impressed. I think for the next build or a 22 route that I might go, probably have to pick up a XTR3.
Yeah, now it's made in Greenlee, Colorado. My only complaint with it is that it's not illuminated. They don't offer an illuminated version in that yet, okay? They had some issues when all this COVID struck and everything else, and they couldn't get the illuminated version to market. I think it's coming down the line, but I am impressed with that.
Razor.
What reticle was it?
Gold ballistic. I'm a Vortex fan, so I'm going to say Razor.
I'm not going to say I'm an anything fan anymore, because what I found is, I used to be Night Force. I was diehard Night Force. I've been running them for as long as I can remember. And these guys all know all my stuff had Night Force on it. But as I started messing around with these primary arms, these Burrises, you're getting a lot of value for your money now. I mean, you really are. And if you're somebody like all of us that have multiple rifles, look, if you want to try to play the game of moving a scope from one rifle to another, you eventually won't do that anymore. It's too much of a pain.
That's me.
And you want to dedicate a scope to it.
But
so,
it's expensive as hell.
Yeah. I mean, I can't afford to put 7 to 35s on every single little rifle I have. I mean, it's just too much.
Yeah.
But there are other options out there, and you just have to adjust. It's not rocket science. You might not get the same reticle, but as long as you get good tracking, good quality glass, I think you're good to go.
I was pretty impressed with that Diamondback for $399 with that EBR2C reticle.
Yeah.
I was like, you know what? When we were in the store, I was like, you know what? This is made for what I need.
Yeah, once you figure it out with 6 plus 4.
Yeah. Dude.
Oh, sucker! I love it.
And Rick, to be honest, the Diamondback isn't that bad of a quality optic. And what steps it up is that Strike Eagle. The Strike Eagle is noticeely better, and it's not much more.
I haven't tried it yet.
Thanks
I can send you. I got 2. I'll send you one of mine if you want to try it out.
That would have put me over the top of production on the mount, I believe. Or maybe
not if you exercise your LEO or a military discount.
You
You can say you got it for that price.
It's MSRP is the worst part.
Oh, okay. I gotcha.
Full MSRP.
And now the price is actually, if you go to a sanctioned match, it's like $1,070 or something now.
Okay, so Spy Sweeper, this is a great comment, okay? He says he likes the tree reticles, and you just hold without having to mess with the turrets much. There is a time and place for both methods. And what I have found is in PRS competition, true PRS, where you're shooting out, 11, 12, 1,300 yards, and in the rimfire competition, you're not going to do a lot of holding at the further distances.
Because you're hitting a lollipop.
Yeah, I mean, when they're really tiny, you really do want to dial, and there is time as long as you can move efficiently. I'm not talking about taking multiple shots and saying, all right, well, I'm going to follow it up. I missed, I'm left, I want to miss again. You want to just dial it. It's going to be a little better for you.
Opportunity.
And then with the Christmas tree, so Ray knows, Rick knows, I was saved up for a while. Got the Night Force that I've been wanting. Trimmer 3 reticle. I'm starting to realize that reticle is very busy for PRS. I ran that reticle at the 22 match.
It's hard to find those little targets.
It is. I'm starting to get used to where now that I'm looking through it, I am kind of blocking it out a little bit more, but I probably, for PRS, would have gone with something less busy and then use the Trimmer 3 for like a sniper style match. Unknown distance stuff, wind more so.
Yeah, so guys, to preface all of this, you remember, this PRS stuff is relatively new to me. I started off doing military sniper matches and, LEO mil sniper matches where they vetted you and made sure of your credentials before you could even enter them. They weren't even open to civilians or to the public. And on those matches, it's all about speed, hitting a man-sized target, moving on to the next one. We weren't shooting little 10-inch circles or, 8-inch squares or whatever it was. It was blind. Everything was blind. You didn't know yardages. And that's different. In that application, and that's where those tree reticles work, because you have a lot more room for error. You still got to do your wind and everything else. Distances are still the same, but it's a different type of competition. A lot of those are team style matches where a lot of it is on communication, because you're typically married up with another sniper because you're working in a team. And so effective communication is critical. PRS isn't like that. You're working on your own. You know the distances. They're pointing out the targets. You can already write all that stuff down, so you're not having to do it on the fly.
Which is huge.
Yeah, so this actually had me thinking. I know this isn't my channel, and I appreciate you having me on, but like the bullet and data management folder, there are some people that are not going to appreciate what that can do if you're not doing that type of competition. It'll work great for PRS. It'll work great for the sniper style matches, but it's really designed to be more for and I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys, we've already been contacted by, some Marine Scout snipers, because this is a tool for that type of application. It has plenty of other applications, but you got to know what it was designed for and why I built it. So I am learning these cleaner reticles are nicer for PRS, because the Trimmer 3 just obscures a lot, but I can't go and get rid of all my Trimmer 3 scopes without losing a ton.
I wouldn't get rid.
I'm not going to get rid of it.
Yeah, I love mine to death. It's just different. Cool for a different.
Seeing in the Vortex, the HD Gen 2 style, and the 4.5 to 27, your options are pretty limited. And my biggest thing was I wanted to have 2 tents, at least going from up and down, because the dope always seems to be off. It's never correct. So
yeah. I guess to put my input on the crystal tree reticle, I don't like using it anymore. It's, to me, all about proficiency. A lot of folks that have the crystal tree reticle probably don't practice as much, and it's very hard to determine, especially if you have 0.5 mil incremental holdovers, where your 0.3 is. Not to mention that usually on the crystal tree reticle, it's a little bit thicker reticle. So when you're out the distance 800 yards, you have a lot of error that can happen just with doing the holdovers or any of that. So again, it comes down to proficiency. It's actually, I'm finding it faster just to dial up your dope, other than trying to figure out where your reticle is. Where's 5 mils? Where's 2 mils? And then that's valuable time you're wasting in the competition.
Well, this is the first time we have ever differed on opinions. I think the holdover for our application with the trimmer, having 2 tenths holds. I mean, everything has a 2 tenths marker on it. So even if it's, let's say 5.3, you're just going to go straight to in between 5.2 and 5.4. You're going to be on the target.
See, that's easy.
You cannot be faster than that. but they can't be little tiny targets.
Right. Well, I agree with the tremor. Well, I guess what I was trying to aim at is most Christmas tree reticles like the EBR 2C, they don't have that pointy.
Yeah, it's half a mil.
So the tremor, if you're going to use holdovers, I think the tremor is by far the best out there. But a lot of scope manufacturers out there advertising this Christmas tree reticle. However, they're not showing you that it's not 0.2. If you don't have a 0.2 holdover, like you're saying incremental, I think that to me is a disadvantage.
Correct. And even the Burris XTR3 has the 2/10, and that's what Matt was commenting on. It is very, very valuable to have that 2/10. Now, at not the last rimfire, but the previous one to that, they had a stage where they didn't let you dial. You were required to do holdovers. So, the match directors can do that. They can say, all right, on this one, you're going to dial only and you're not doing holdovers, or vice versa. So, you need to be proficient with both.
Yeah.
Think about the guy that shows up. This is what sucks. What if a guy shows up with a duplex with turrets where he's used to dialing everything, and now he's required to do holdovers?
It's okay.
What's he going to do?
Yeah.
He's going to zero out on that stage, or he's going to get one hit on the very first one when he starts, because he can dial that one, but then he can't touch it afterwards.
Yeah.
So Otter is asking about first focal plane versus second focal plane. If you guys, most of you probably know what we're talking about. Some of you don't. Basically, it's where the reticle is placed within the focal field. So typically on a first focal plane, and if I'm wrong on any of this stuff, just correct me. It's fine because I got too much going on right now. But first focal plane is going to be forward of the turrets near the objective. Second focal plane is going to be in front of the magnification power ring. The difference is a first focal plane, the reticle is going to change size based on the magnification. Second focal plane never changes size. What you see is what you get regardless of your zoom or your power. Now let's talk about second focal plane, because that used to be the most common, but there is a place for it, okay? The place that I see for it is nothing changes. It's always the same. You know what you've got.
You don't know.
And on a first focal, if you go lower in magnification, your reticle almost disappears into oblivion. You can't read any numbers. You can still faintly see crosshairs, but unless you have a lot of light, you're not going to really make out a good solid crosshair. My understanding is most of your long-range F-class shooters shoot a second focal plane scope. Nothing changes. The disadvantage is if you're having to use your reticle to mill or range targets without the use of electronics, which we see in a lot of these sniper style matches, they call them dead electronic stages. You better be on the max power on a second focal, otherwise none of your math is going to work out right because the ratio is going to be incorrect. And as a rule, second focal is always max, but there are some exceptions where they have an indicator on the power ring to tell you what is going to be correct for power and reticle. So there's that. That's my take on it. Kenny, anything you want to add to that?
Dude, I think you nailed it exactly on the head. The only thing I could add to it is a lot of folks that do ELR, that's another thing, a benefit for for second focal plane, is that you could back off the reticle and get extra holdover.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure. You need it, especially shooting 22 long rifle stuff.
Yeah, it's amazing. Like a 22 long rifle, even running 30, and on the rifle that I loaned to John Kreiderman, we had 50 minutes of angle built into that. Even at that, at 400 plus yards, there wasn't enough to dial. And that's with a 95 minute of angle elevation travel inside of the scope. So you're still having to hold over. Well, the problem is if you're running, let's say 30, and the max you can go is 20 mils, and you got to hold another 10.
Yeah, you're at the
well, you got to back out on the power. Some of them will have 10, some of them will have 20, depending on the reticle. So that's a key point that Kenny's talking about there, is using those as holdovers.
Hey, Joaquin. I think.
Yeah, it's a huge learning curve. I mean, it really is.
Ramsey Country said he likes the second focal plane.
Yeah, Ramsey Country says he likes second focal, and I'll tell you, doing 3-gun as long as I did, I honestly think in 3-gun application, I think second focal plane really kind of wins my favor in that discipline.
Yeah.
like I said, there's a time and place for everything. But if you get a first focal and you're not, I mean, depending on the power, you might not be able to see what your hold is if you're really trying to get a good wide field of view.
Right.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep.
Yeah, this is great topics. I think hopefully people are learning. If not, we're talking. We're talking a lot. Sharing the information.
Yeah, I'm mostly a steel hunter, so I mean, I like pushing cartridges out there. That's why I really prefer a second focal plane. But lately, getting into the competition world, the first focal plane is the way to go.
No, Otter, we did not say second focal is better. We did not say that. It depends on your application. At this moment in my life, I own 0 second focal plane scopes. Everything I own is a first focal.
I think the same. I might have some old stuff, but cheap. It was really, really cheap ones when I first moved here.
Yeah.
But everything else I have is a first focal plane, except for that 3-gun rifle.
All right, I'm gonna let you have this chair back. I've got some more.
Conservative sniper hunter, you must have just showed up, even though you didn't show up. I got a Voodoo on the way. I'll be picking up tomorrow. So
That's the same.
yeah, it'll be in a MPA chassis, and it'll be pretty damn cool. We borrow Ray's one. I can show you a picture of it again, but we did show it off a little bit earlier. Yeah, it's got a Ray MPA chassis.
It's the BA comp, right? The BA comp chassis.
Yeah, with the what was it?
Yeah. If I have any budget left for Christmas, I might have to go with the underdog and just go with the Rim X from Bighorn.
There you go.
It's something, you know.
Oh yeah, that's what it's really boils down to, is just get the hell out there and shoot, have fun. I mean, who cares if you're not first? I mean, some people do, but yeah, fun.
What's funny about it is lately going to these local matches, I always told myself I'm here to have fun, you know. I'm not trying to be super competitive. Well, I go to the first match and I'm like freaking pissed off I'm not at least top 5. So now I'm like being super competitive now. So.
Yeah, this last 22 long rifle match was the first time. I can't say the first time.
You got a game face on that.
I was like, I wanted to win that production trophy.
He shot 4 stages real clean, and he just in the zone.
He wouldn't even talk.
He wouldn't even talk.
I was like, man, I was doing good. Then I forgot to dial. Well, because of the Diamondback, and you had to freaking turn it 1,400 times in a round to get the right dope. I was just like,
and the wheels fell off.
The wheels fell off.
Yeah. I think one of the biggest motivations, I guess, is the prize table. You start seeing stuff out there. You're like, man, I could have got that if I was one shot impact, one more impact on steel.
Well, see, and I only needed 4 points to get first in production. And when I went up and I was at 3 something. Well, the way that rifle was zeroed, I could go all the way to basically 5 down. So when I went to 3, I was really still in the negative and not in the actual 3 mils up. So
it's confusing.
I hit the pole twice that the target was on. I'm like, there is no way I'm missing this shit. And it was a decent sized target. And all I needed was 6, and that was, I think, a 12-round stage, and I would have had him beat no problem. And I just sucked at it. But it wasn't because of my shooting; it was because I had the wrong damn dope. But it wasn't. Right. I wasn't smart enough. I knew I was missing it. I'm like, where the hell is it? But I wasn't smart enough to go. I even checked my dope over again. I looked at my armband, and I said, "Shit, it's on 3. I don't know what the hell's going on. There must be a lot of wind out there." But no, I should have came home with that damn trophy. I'm a little pissed off on that. Matt did choke on the last stage.
Oh yeah.
Actually, if Matt would have done decent on that last stage, you would have beat Ray. Right?
I think 3 points behind third.
Yeah, I think you would have took him.
Let him keep taking that.
Yeah. Hey, you get your trophy tomorrow.
Yeah, I finally get my trophy tomorrow. I'm meeting with the match director. Look at that. My head is over on Matt's. I finally pick it up. But yeah, it was close. But I've told you guys from the beginning, this cat right here has got a lot of experience with shooting.
He's a good shooter.
I know we didn't look at it we call him Big Kahuna. So
I call him the sleeper. I've always been trying to chase Matt. This guy, I gave up on. I can't.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're having fun. You come on with the Kirby, Dick.
I'm still trying to catch him 10 years later.
Okay, so Drew Bradley asked, will the old models of Kestrels give me the information I need? Probably not, okay? So it depends on how old it is. You can get environmentals and you can plug those into like Streetlock, but if you're looking for the one thing that does it all, you're going to want the one that's like that has applied ballistics or for DOF or something like that. So I'm not going to say it's useless. It's just not going to do everything you want it to do and have it all self-contained without going to your phone.
Great comment, +5. Very true.
Yep. Yep.
You had said something about
The tool's only as good as its user. That's what I always was taught.
Yeah, that's right. Drew asked something also about the Kestrel, but it said something about like Hornady or something.
Yeah, Hornady DOF, the 4 DOF.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the old one.
No, it's the new one. 4 DOF
Oh, okay.
is newer than applied ballistics.
Yeah.
Applied ballistics been around since 14.
Bingo +5. Yeah. This chat's so good, I'm going for another beer. David,
Nice.
grab yourself another beer. Man, we've been talking an hour and a half. You guys want us to keep going? You good, Matt? You want to go a little longer? Beers are in the fridge.
It's Friday night. I'll even have a beer.
It's Friday night, man.
You know what? Let's all have a beer.
I guess I'll go get him.
That's one thing I'm missing in here is a damn refrigerator. But I'll get one in here eventually.
We don't have a refrigerator down here yet. Okay, so quick update while we're doing a beer run. I got to give a huge shout out to Sam over here. He hasn't been on the camera yet, but the plumber came today to basically get specs and see what he needed to change and all that stuff. And Sam had donated a brand new sink, a wash sink. It's got all the liquids and all that shit. So we are good to go when it comes to the wash basin. It's got the faucet and the drain. And so Monday is when the urinal gets put in, the wash basin gets put in, that hose gets moved over there that's in the drywall. It's driving my ass crazy. But things are moving along still. We put I haven't even put the video out yet, but the vault doors put in now. So pretty damn excited. Sam seems a smidge uncomfortable in front of the camera. Yeah, he's a little shy when it comes to the camera for sure. If you're interested, look up Modern Day Sniper Phil and Kevin. They do a lot of.
Okay.
Gacky, what's up? Those basins are good. Yeah, no, I'm super excited about it. It's not too big. And I'll be able to rinse all the brass out after it gets washed. Or tumbled, I should say. So it'll be nice and put some fresh water in it and wash all the soap off it.
Yep.
So I'm excited.
I gotta tell Ray thank you for recommending these.
What are they?
Oh, the targets holders.
Oh,
The best steel target holders.
did you get those from the same company?
Yeah, best steel. This is it. The T-post holders.
Yeah, that actually looks a little different. They used to be a little taller.
Yeah.
Okay.
But those, matter of fact, you got that from Best Targets in Mooresville, North Carolina?
Yeah. I had to call him because every time I went to check out the website crashed or something was going on.
Is that a rimfire holder or a center fire holder?
It better be a center fire because that's what I'm shooting.
Hold it up again. They have completely changed that.
It's not as tall, for sure.
Okay.
It used to never have a single weld in it, and it was 3 pieces of AR-500 that were bolted.
There's no bolts, yeah.
So that there were no welds to break. So I don't know if they've got 2 different versions,
Okay.
but the ones that we use are actually twice that size.
Okay, so they're taller, huh?
Yes, and
Yeah.
there's no welds on
So
it.
this one, I don't know, my T-posts are a little bit bent. They're not flat, so I have to hammer down the actual sides of it in order for this thing to slip down. I'm not sure that's
Hours just drop right on. You can freely drop them.
okay.
It has the normal shape of it. No one shot at it.
Well,
Man,
I'm pretty happy with it because I need something out there. Every time I hammer one of those shepherd's hooks, I mean, even at 600 yards when we were doing the last video, it's just toppling over.
You don't have to worry about the bolts coming undone. Not that they did, but
Yeah.
maybe that's the new shit out. Maybe it's better.
Oh, I do have to give a shout out to Cool Clothing
cool.
Company. Yeah, right there. They are now. I got picked up by them as I guess one of their ambassadors. So yeah, I don't have to buy clothes anymore, and I was already wearing it anyway, guys. I haven't had a beer in like forever. So cheers.
I don't remember the last beer I had. It was a while ago. Cheers, Matt. Yeah, cheers.
Cheers.
I need another beer.
Wow, that's tart. That's not Diet Coke.
It's got bubbles in it. What the hell? Sweet tea don't got bubbles in it.
Diet Coke's got bubbles, but
Cheers, everybody. This is not a once in a lifetime, but you won't normally see us drinking beer.
no, that's very rare, believe it or not. I know that sounds crazy, but
I did have a whiskey last night, though.
I might drink 6 beers a year.
Yeah, maybe 6,
Yeah.
7.
That's my problem.
I got it. I'm in pain right now.
What's the problem? You're sounding like you only have one problem.
I have multiple problems.
That's what I'm talking about.
I don't really drink either, but this thing's taking the edge off of what I had done.
How's that paneling on your the heat shed? Does it help a lot reflect the heat?
Yeah, so the heat really stays in here. I mean, I have a little, I don't know if I can show you. It's a little small industrial heater way in that corner right there by the toolbox. And that heats up the whole shed in about 10 minutes, and it keeps it nice and warm. It turns off for over an hour, which is telling me that this thing is staying nice and warm. Now, when I had it all done and it was still 100 degrees out here, I had a little like AC unit on the floor, and I turned it all the way down as far as it could go at 60 degrees, and it was down to 60 degrees at 100-degree weather. So I could literally hang meat in this bitch.
I like it.
Yeah, it's R19 insulation, and then I obviously put over this half-inch thick R-Tech insulation. And I'm not done. I'm going to put insulation on the roof over here as well. But as far as I know right now, it's keeping it nice and warm, keeping it nice and cool when I need to.
Yeah, that's what you need out there in the middle of the desert for sure.
Yeah, I was going to put drywall up, but honestly, I needed my room up and going, and I'm still running wiring, so I'm like, I just don't feel like tearing down drywall.
I don't blame you. Drywall sucks ass anyways, because
Right. It's a man cave. I don't care what it looks like, and it's only me in here.
I didn't either, and then the thing started turning out so well. I'm like, now I kind of care.
No, it works really good for studio lighting, to be honest.
Upstairs, you guys would shit if you saw upstairs. There's a freaking table up there. Like the only chair I have up there is a bucket. It's a regular straight ass bucket. I mean, I want to listen to Matt, right? Like people are like, I give 2 shits about upstairs. I got the bedroom, I got my bed all done, and yeah, no kitchen table, no couches, no TV, nothing's up there.
You got a spare bedroom.
Yeah, spare bedroom's got 2 bedrooms.
Well, you're taking care of what matters first, which is the reloading room.
That's all I'm caring about down here.
So, no, it's
Here though, damn excited about it.
Yeah. Well, I'm holding off. I mean, I was gonna put up one of those big steel buildings, a 16 or it was a 24 by 34 building. I was gonna put up, but I'm just holding off, and we're just gonna build a house on the second lot with the RV garage.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yep, and this then will be a Airbnb, which is highly sought out after over here, at least because of the lake.
Oh, you're gonna rent that out afterwards?
Yeah, this would be an Airbnb.
That's where I'm gonna come visit. What are you talking about?
Yeah, well, that's where everybody's gonna come crash pad out if you ever want to come out here. The cool thing, I'm not joking, man. Some of the Airbnbs out here, and it's like there's like small little apartments. They go for like $800 a night, like during some of the holidays. It's insane. So there's some big opportunity for coin that way.
That's cool. Hey man, might as well do it up.
Yeah,
I'm doing the same thing because right in the area that we were in, there's a huge mountain biking is like There's fly fishing like nobody's business out here. It's in the perfect little spot. And I was thinking about actually building my garage and doing the same thing above the top of it.
Yeah.
We kind of set it up where it has like a bike spray station and all that. So
Yeah, we're in mountain bike country over here.
yeah,
Gotcha.
mountain bike is huge out here. Fly fishing and
Yeah.
so it's like
I mean,
people come.
we wanted to make it a ranch. You know, I had animals out here, so I started bringing in, chickens, and I had pigs. But then the damn coyotes started coming around. So I had 30 chickens 1 year and ended up with 2 within 6 months.
Damn.
So not only do we have coyotes, we have the great horned owls.
Oh, no, chickens.
Dude, yeah. So I went out in my truck on a trouble call, and I'm sitting here doing my time and getting all my paperwork ready, and this freaking thing lands right on my hood of my truck. I mean, it looked like Jeepers Creepers. It freaking scared the shit out of me.
What the hell?
Yeah, it landed right on the hood of the truck and just like was staring at me, dude. Like it was like a horror movie. This is like 1 o'clock in the morning.
Probably
Imagine
the lighting of the computer screen.
something attracted his ass, but he's got some weight because when he landed on my truck, you could see the hood indent a little bit.
Damn.
And just imagine something like that, and it's just freaking staring at you, man. Freaking A, dude. Yeah. So that was an experience.
Hood latches that were the hood went up, and shoot that damn owl off.
Well, what got me is I spilled my coffee, Yeah. Fresh, hot coffee, dude. Black Rifle coffee was all over.
Yeah. That's
yeah.
Are there any rattlesnakes that you're shooting?
Absolutely. Actually, just shot one about a month ago underneath my house. So I was getting the concrete poured, and my buddy was out here helping me. And I went up on my patio, and I heard for 1 second, a little like that, right? Yeah. And I just know that sound. I'm keen to that sound because I deal with them all the time out there in the field. I'm like, that's a freaking rattlesnake. It was underneath my porch. So I opened up my crawl space, and sure enough, that sucker was slithering right to my HVAC vents. So grabbed the 22, shot him 6 times, and then I thought to myself, that was pretty stupid because now I got to crawl underneath my house and go get him because he's going to start stinking.
Well, yeah, long enough to know his ass is really dead.
Yeah, and that was another experience. And my friends are all laughing at me because I went underneath there, and we have tarantulas out here. So I'll crawl underneath there, and there's this freaking molted tarantula skin right there. So I turned over on the one and bumped my head because I got scared. So
I don't blame you. You're already on super alert mode, and then all of a sudden you got a freaking.
Yeah, dude. I mean, it's nuts the stuff we have out here. I mean, we got the bark scorpions, we got the tarantulas, we have the Arizona caterpillars. If you guys don't know what these things are, look it up. The millipede, the Arizona millipede, I shit you not, it's about 1 foot long. And they're not aggressive, but if you get bit by one, it's they say it's one of the most painful bites out there.
Screw that shit.
Wow.
Yeah.
That'd be my ass. I'd be the one to get bit.
Well, yeah.
So, my luck, I would chop it with an axe, and then there'd be 2 pieces falling.
So when I first moved out here, my experience was, oh, cool, I got a fire pit. I'm going to come out here and kick it by the pool, turn the fire pit on. And that's what you don't want to do at nighttime because then it attracts all the critters because the heat and the light. So I freaking lit up the fire pit, and I'm sitting here smoking a hot dog. And you just start seeing things crawling up towards it, man. And it's just like like I said, like a horror story. Started seeing scorpions, saw a freaking garter snake. I mean, this is all within an hour. You ever run and then the coyotes start howling.
Ever run around with the black light and find all the scorpions?
Yeah, well, I had to clean up the yard quite a bit when I first moved here, so that's where they were all festering. And it was a good learning experience for the boys because they like to go outside with no shoes. So I told them, you guys are never going outside unless you are freaking got your boots on. You got leggings on or whatever, just in case. So, but other than that, life out here is pretty easy. Just small things you got to deal with.
Hey, Bad Billy, I got a Voodoo coming tomorrow. Don't ask me how I got it, but I got it. Coming tomorrow. Super lucky.
Nah, we got no bed bugs. You got bed bugs in the house, so you got to start cleaning a little better.
I stayed at my buddy's house in Texas, and he would get scorpions in the shower.
So yeah, that depends. So if you're on city water,
Scorpions in the shower.
yeah, city sewer. So luckily I'm on well water out here, but down there in the city itself, yeah, that happens. They crawl out of your sink and shit, man. It's oh
That's
man,
like it's coming out of toilets. Like
yeah.
You would see me shoot a shotgun right straight at my toilet. The shit water would be blowing up everywhere. I mean, it would just happen. I'm just calling it right now.
Yeah. I might have to do a Ramsey Country and go live one of these nights. I have one of those night camcorders that will hook up to the Wi-Fi as well, and just show him, because this last weekend, it was actually 2 weekends ago, we cleared out 14 coyotes. I mean, they're all hanging on my buddy's roof rack.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. 50. I'm telling you, that 58 grain VMAX and that 6 arc is something else, man. It's a wicked round.
Joaquin's got a mountain lion running around in the city. Damn, that ain't good. Those things mean business.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I tell you what, I've heard a lot of stories. Those mountain lions in California, they love mountain bikers. They're like little mountain bikes.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. See, you're like, oh, I'm gonna ride 40 miles a day so I can stay in shape. Well,
We get eaten by a mountain lion.
the mountain lion will get eaten by a damn mountain lion. See, it's home and be fat.
Dude, that's a sucky way to die, man.
Oh, you seen that video of the guy on YouTube getting chased up the trail?
Yeah, with that mountain lion.
Yeah.
Those things are no joke. If you think of a house cat that's, I don't know, what, 5-12 pounds. I know some will get really big, but those things will F you up if they're pissed off enough. And you know that story of that one guy.
Oh yeah, I have a guy that works with us, and he's dating this girl, and she adopted some cat, and in the middle of the night it attacked him. It's about $120,000 worth of damage to his right hand.
All the nerves and everything.
Nerves, everything.
Wow.
So now imagine a 200-pound cat or 150-pound or whatever. You're done. That's like being in Africa and just getting eaten by a lion, basically. Like, you ain't messing around with that.
No. See, I don't know. I got a rule of thumb, man. I don't go anywhere unless I'm top of the food chain. So, mountain lions, nuh-uh.
These bubbles are getting me, boys and girls.
I'm telling you, that's wise words. Don't go anywhere unless you're prepared, and don't go anywhere unless you're top of the food chain. You'll live life a lot longer.
On the 19th warm. Don't be doing any math questions over here. What about the notorious Apollo?
Oh yeah, those cats are big. The Maine Coons. Those things are like.
What is it?
It's a Maine Coon. It's like a
Maine Coon. Oh yeah, that's those big cats.
Yeah.
Oh, in Maine, the state of Maine.
It's like a.
No, they just call it Maine Coon.
Oh. Yeah,
They look crazy. They look like little mini tigers.
that's pretty badass. Not long California chasing mountain bikers are like dogs, like chasing cars. Yeah, exactly. +5 knows. Yeah, it seems like you're always seeing on the news, mountain biker attacked by a mountain lion. There you go. Yeah, conservative sniper hunters got crocodiles.
Crocodiles. Screw that.
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah.
No thanks. I don't runners. You're only got to be able to outrun the slowest person in your group. Yeah.
Yep.
Cruise.
Yeah, we got those around here.
Yeah. I got bit by a black widow, and it meant business. I have to tell you that story one day. I think I told it on here once before, a long time ago. I woke up, I had pissed myself. So the doctor gave me a bunch of drugs and stuff. I had this 2 bloodlines coming down my arm all the way to almost my heart.
Yeah.
They're like, if it would have went any more, I thought I had the splinter, so I put it in this like super hot boiling water to get the splinter out. all it did was make the poison go crazy. And
Oh man.
It effed me up. I was throwing up, vomiting. It was, we were training, putting, basically we use hay bales when we're doing training birds in a house, so we'll keep throwing like hay bales in there and catching them. Yeah, and I put my glove back on and it bit me right on the finger. And I just thought it was a piece of hay got stuck, you know, felt like that.
Yeah.
And somebody at the station says, yeah, just put it in a really hot not boiling water, but like super hot, as hot as you can handle it. And it'll get that little thing to come out of there. Man, it basically almost killed my ass. I almost died. Well, I didn't know.
Damn, from a Black Widow?
Yeah, it effed me up bad.
Yeah, it wasn't your time. That sucks. I never got bit by one of those, but I've seen some horror stories.
Yeah, which I never thought was as bad as it was. I don't know if it's because I put it in the boiling water and it made it go all crazy, but don't do that shit. That's a bad idea.
Yeah. I got a video of, I guess, this is kind of off top, but one of my coworker, track department guy, was getting chased by it was a green Mojave snake. And you want to talk about a grown man screaming like a girl? I got it on video. But he got bit by a Black Widow that week prior. So his arm was all like, he had a big old bandage on. It was all red. It was like a big old blister on there.
No, did you say a Mojave green rattlesnake?
No, a Mojave green. It's not a rattle, but it's a Mojave. They don't rattle. They just freaking chase you. And they're like one of the most deadliest snakes out here.
They chase after you?
Chile, Colorado.
Yeah, you never. So Mojave green isn't a indigenous snake. It's actually been brought over from the Europeans to take care of like rats and stuff out here, right? But it just started festering. It's an engineered snake over. I forgot what two snakes they mated, but these things are highly poisonous. I mean, they're worse than a rattlesnake. It's a neurotoxin that they put out, instant pain. And their head's about the size of your fist, right? They're thick little bastards. They like to coil up underneath like this warm stuff, but they literally are so aggressive. You could be within 20 yards, and if you piss it off somehow, it's going to come chase you. You know it's a Mojave green. That's the only snake out here that'll freaking chase you, and they're fast.
Wow.
Yeah, they're like one of the worst snakes you want to deal with. Luckily, I'm just more cautious. I stay in my truck most of the time, but when I get out to the equipment, I gotta inspect it. I throw rocks at it far away, stuff just to make sure nothing like that out there. But man, yeah, this guy was out there laying rail out there, and this freaking thing came out of the bungalow, dude, like out of nowhere. Big ass snake. I've seen this thing chasing him. He turns around, and I kid you not, this guy's he's yoked out. He's like 230 pounds, 5'11", just yoked out dude. Screamed like a girl, tripped, fell, freaking got the shovel. I mean, it was bad. I had to film it. So I was filming basically for our safety site meeting. I was already filming, so I caught all this on camera. It was funny. Luckily, he got away, but yeah, that was something else to see.
Yeah,
I agree with Davey J. I was in a kayak and had one try to get in the kayak.
I'd have been all.
Dude, I was.
Yeah, here. Yeah, I'll bring up a picture of what they look like. The Mojave green it's the worst snake I think in North America.
And
it's
the red racers. I know those things are fast as hell.
Yeah, and they're aggressive out here too.
Yeah, watch some squirrels in your freezer, Drew. So steer your ice cubes. That's right. Brown snakes are very aggressive bastards. They will come at you within 3 to 4 yards.
It's worse when you're in the water.
Look, +5 says Black Widow has a poison pain strength of 10 diamondback rattlesnakes. Is what scientists say. All I know is it jacked my ass up. Something so small can kick your ass so easy. I was like, whoo.
Some may say you never fully recover.
Yeah, some may say it, and some are right, probably. I would carry a pistol with snake shot. Yeah.
I wish I can, but unfortunately I work for a freaking liberal. Mr.
You gotta watch out for them trouser snakes. Motor. What a snake shot. Basically, DW, it's a little, I have some in my truck. It's basically, like I have it in 22 long rifle. It has a little blue cap on it, at least the stuff I have, and then it has a little shot in it, like a shotgun, but you shoot it out of a pistol. You work better in a revolver because a lot of times it doesn't cycle. As far as I know, people have died from Black Widow in Australia. The Sydney funnel web spider has killed 30 to 40 people. Damn.
There's a lot of stuff in
Australia. Australia, there's like everything out there. Yeah, everything will kill your ass out there. It's like got the top 10 freaking this and the top poisonous that and the top meanest that. And yeah, that'd be my luck. I'd go walking around and get bit by one of the deadliest spiders, and then fall down and get bit by one of the deadliest snakes.
DW.
That's your luck. Yeah, I go swimming and get stung by a jellyfish, get out, then get bit by a spider, and then hit by a snake.
And then ran over by a bus. Your ass has the worst damn luck ever.
Yep. All right.
Oh, well, we're at 2 hours. We're going to get the hell out of here. Hopefully you guys had fun. Hopefully somebody had learned something. Huh?
I enjoyed it. It was a great chat.
And with that said, we're going to see you guys on the next one.
Watch out.
You got anything to say, Raimundo, before we get out of here?
It was a pleasure. Hopefully everyone
Is that
had
your
a great
parade
time.
wave?
Yep. Always learning something new, man. Appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
Commander 97, you have a great night. Conservative Sniper under Chevy Officer +5 WJ Drew Bradley. DW. Can you kill them trouser snakes with a snake shot? You can. It's going to hurt a lot. All right, you guys have a great night. See you on the next one. Appreciate everybody showing up.
Drew Bradley. Hopefully soon. All of our schedules have been, I don't know, out of whack. So hopefully after the holidays, we'll get a good video going of the breakdown and all the parts and pieces, and hopefully some load development. We'll go from there.
Yeah, we'll go put some holes in some targets. All right, everybody. Take care. Sam, you want to say anything before we're done? I'm good. I ain't saying shit. I ain't even getting in front of the curb. All right. Bye. See y'all. See y'all. Bye for now. Bye, Felicia. Bye, Felicia.